For the love of God, I hope this tape's already. Okay, so people want me to talk more in depth about Kai and my thoughts on Kai, whatever, blah, 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 right? In the game, period. So, of course, yes, I was disappointed that the Shinakuma was out. I would theorize that they took Shinakuma out because when you are promoting the game as the most risky game ever to jump in, which is obviously bullshit, and you're promoting the game to be more kind of pre-contrived and pre-planned, to have such a free-flowing movement option, although I think is personally very fucking fun, it seems very weird. You know what I mean? So I guess they're like, well, I can't believe we're promoting having this in. And then we even made it easier in past games. And you got to remember, Shinakuma was something I found way back early in the early days of Guilty Gear. And even by the time that Slash came out, only a few people could do it because it took skill to regularly do, right? And then when they made these earlier versions of the game, it was just so piss poor easy, which I don't agree with. But again, design philosophy wise and how they're trying to promote the game, I can see why they took it out. Maybe they'll put it back for a dragon install at some point or something, but I would like him just to have it personally because I think it is more free-flowing and fun. But again, what I'm getting at is I can understand why it was not in the final version of the game, because when you're promoting the game one way and then you add that in, it was very strange, like I said. To talk about more about stuff why I say Kai feels very weird, and it's a lot because his slash and his hard slash feels strange. So if you watch this, if I do boom, boom, look where my slash is. If I do a fireball, boom, boom, same position. Now if I do hard, further away, that makes sense, right? But, oh, now I'm even closer. Because, you know what I mean, the sprite model, whatever you call it in this game, it actually is the body when you actually cancel the attack. And I feel like that makes it feel kind of strange and weird, right? Boom. See the position. See the position. See the position. Drastic difference. And you might think, well, okay, it's because they want you to get better hit confirms. And you're like, oh, well, that might be the case, but you forgot they toned down the slide, so that doesn't even work. And some characters, both hits will live. So you're like, oh, your plan, you changed it, you toned down something, and then you didn't actually put it all back, the pieces back together. It's very bizarre, right? It's not very well thought out. I mean, still, what are you talking about? Well, what am I doing at this range? You're like, oh, well, you could super, okay. Well, you could RC. Well, I guess, but can't every character RC or super or whatever that is, generally speaking? You know, if you have something that's going to hit this, so that kind of goes back to the idea of this game is more focused on the system. The system is more important than the characters. So you can see there's an idea here. Because the game is more pre-planned and pre-contrived, they wanted you to be able to get these punishes from the tip, just the tip. But then it's like, oh, well, then we toned down the slide and we didn't actually think of our plan out. And the fireball's toned down, so it's not like you're getting, these fireballs aren't comboing anyway. You know what I mean? Of course, you could do something like, you know, that kind of shit, but again, that's like an RC. Who can't RC in this game? I don't think RC is just Kai, right? And the problem with that is when I talk about it feeling unnatural, because I think it just magnifies how bad his frame data feels in this game. This isn't a mix-up character. This is a pressure, fireball, dragon punch kind of character. And that kind of shit feels very strange. It doesn't feel natural, right? If I have a fireball, dragon punch character, and my fireball is punishable from right here, well, what are you doing? I'm not a mix-up character. I shouldn't be punishable at that range. And the weird thing is, this is not even this version of the game. You can go back and look at my YouTube, and months ago, I posted a video, and I'm like, this is a problem. Kai's frame data should not be this bad at this point in the screen. And you know I fucking hate talking about frame data, because most people that talk about frame data, they use it as a crutch to try to sound smart. You know what I mean? But the point is, my advantage here from doing a fireball is not good. It's fucked up, right? Which leads me to how would you fix this problem? Well, of course, you could do something like, say, Kai's hard slash, You know what I mean? In games like Guilty Gear X, whatever, it's like +1, I think it is, right? You could do that, so at least you know what I'm hitting you here. If I don't want to cancel an attack, at least I'm, you know, keeping you on your toes for the next attack, something, right? The fireball, and you know, you don't have to make all these changes, or you could make all of them. You could call them quality of life changes, whatever. What could you do for his fireball? Something like that. Say his fireball as it is. You can make it, say it recovers 2 frames faster. And then say when the guy blocks it, it does another 2 frames of stun. So shock state, because just shock state fireball like this doesn't do anything. Maybe once the guy is already in a shock state, then maybe shock state fireball does another 2 frames of stun. So then you have this idea that, you know, Kai's fireball in neutral, if the guy were just to jump over it, God, it's still a pretty goddamn fucking slow fireball, let's be honest. But, you know, from this position, it only recovers 2 frames faster, right? But at least if the guy blocks it, you have a potential other than 4 frames or something. So 6 frames altogether. I mean, the move is, it is for a character, this kind of character is, it's very bizarre how it's planned, right? And especially when you couple it with these kind of things and how his hard slash moves you forward. And it's just, it's very bizarre. And, you know, this move is punishable. And it's almost sad that it's like that too, that I'm trying to say that you got to fix it, because I do think it's interesting, you know, all the blue drift FRC, RC, whatever the fuck it's called. I do think that stuff is interesting. I think that stuff is kind of fun, that it gives you more aggressive, more stronger punishes. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't really make sense for the character, for what you're doing, right? More about shock state as well, of course, you know, I think this is retarded. 37, now if the guy's in shock state. 39, that's it. It should knock you down like the other ones. Knock you down, let me get a big blue fireball or big yellow fireball. What is the fucking deal here? Right? What is the deal here? Like, the wall can already break. I'm not going to be getting pressure for all the time if I'm mixing you up, so I don't know why they took that out. And, you know, I was showing that one thing recently, you know, when you have this like boom, boom. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. Oops. You know, that kind of stuff, right? But then you saw, so let's watch this right here, right? So if I'm just right here, right? Look where I am. Do you see where I am? Look where my feet are just at that tension. But if I shoot if he's in a shock state, look where I am. Holy shit, that's a pretty drastic difference. Aren't I supposed to be being rewarded for a shock state? Now, of course, yes, you do get some rewards. Like, damn, okay, my DP actually does something, right? But at the same time, it's like this is a very B&B, you know, this is a very staple move of my arsenal. This is a staple arsenal fucking move of my repertoire, whatever the fuck it is. This is a staple move in my arsenal. This is an important move that for 2 years is they're like, okay, well, no, Clayton. Now, of course, like I said, what you should have been able to do then after the shock state, you should have been able to get the big blue fireball, big yellow fireball, big Pikachu right there, right? But they're like, no, Clayton, you're not thinking the game through, because if they're in a shock state and you hit this, then you would do this into the RED kick. But then you figure out, wait a second, oh, that only works first 2/3 of the cast, right? So yes, I would agree that yes, this would actually be implying that the player is supposed to identify that, yeah, he's in a shock state, so of course you're going to get pushed away. But now you have RED kick, but then you're forgetting, oh wait, RED kick combos only work first 2/3 of the cast. Which isn't a problem. I think that's actually cool. Character-specific combos are cool. So it wouldn't be a problem if that was the idea, but the idea is like, oh, well, we forgot we toned down the slide. So we didn't actually test to make sure that that still works. So instead of having an idea where Kai gets a very big potential combo versus 2/3 of the cast, now you have an idea where Kai gets a bigger combo versus 2/3 of the cast and then is actually fucking punished versus the rest of the cast and gets worse combos. And I saw some guy tried to post in my comments like, oh, well, it's not very realistic for you just to hit this game a high, low, whatever. I'm using a very basic fucking example. I'm trying to keep this as basic example as I can. These are the same kind of fucking people who's like, oh, well, I'm going to do every combo max momentum. That is not how the fucking game works, you fucking idiots. You are not hitting a max run momentum combo in. And like, oh, well, you can do these setups from here. You can do this setup here. Well, if I have running momentum, will you just fucking stop? This is what that fucking comment that guy made is the exact same as a guy posting in a bunch of fucking numbers trying to sound smart. I'm trying to keep this as basic as possible. I'm trying to make this not complicated for you guys, okay? I know you can fucking run and do momentum, okay? I know not every combo is just a high and low, but you know what? You can tell there's a basic idea of what a combo is, and it is extremely flawed, and it's not real. It's bullshit. It is not well thought out for a game that is 2 fucking years old. Okay? I'm sorry. All the fucking frame data in the world is not going to help you. You are not always fucking having momentum when you combo a guy. Okay? Just fucking stop. You're fucking retarded for saying that bullshit. Oh, but you have these Oki sets, my arc sets with momentum. That is not how the fucking game works. Not every setup has momentum, okay? I'm telling you a basic thing, and you guys are trying to write a fucking Bible passage, implemented game design that is 2 years fucking old, and they didn't try this shit. It's ridiculous. And you can, look at this. Here's an example too. Let's say if I were to do hits twice, right? Boom, okay, which is already, who knows if we're going to hit this here, but you sure will see everyone doing this on Twitter. Look at my straight up 2 hard slash combo. This is my B&B. It's like, dude, it's there, but if this is your B&B, come on. But anyway, point is, but look in shock state. Oh, it only hits once. Do you see that that's just not well thought out? Stop making up excuses, okay? That is not fucking well thought out, dude. And I would assume another problem is what probably happened is they gave Kai such terrible frame data. So if we were to do, what would be an example? I don't know. Let's say if I were to do, let's say this right here, right? Look where he is, okay? Boom, boom. He gets punished by a reversal. But if he's in a shock state, he gets pushed farther away. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Sorry, my bad. I forgot what I was actually doing. Wait, he blocks it, right? So my theory would be, in the developer's great, amazing fucking brain, is they're like, God damn, we have given Kai such bad frame data. Let's actually make it so this big, the Iron Tail, I'm calling it Pikachu's Iron Tail because let's make it so Iron Tail, once the guy is in a shock state, it pushes you further back. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that will work because we're giving him such bad frame data. At least if the guy's in shock state, he can get pushed away. And you're like, great idea. And then somehow in the 2 years that they were making this game, they forgot to actually then try the combos. They forgot that they toned down the slide. They forgot that they did all this other stuff. They're like, God damn, we've been toning down this character so much. We forgot that we actually then should have tried the combos actually as well. So anyway, that just really fucking poorly thought out. And like I said, it goes with how Kai, it just doesn't feel natural and it feels weird, right? Because you can tell there's like an idea here that cancels closer, but then you're like, it just doesn't work with the moves. And it just, instead of like working, it is only amplifying the problem of everything, right? Speaking of shock state as well, I think you could make the dust better. I think the dust should be able to, should be able to duck this so easily. Well, fuck, it's just duckable? Look, I feel like that should be, if you do this as low as possible, the guy should have to duck that, dude. The guy should have to hold that. And then that didn't combo there, but I feel like the dust, you could also probably make the dust, make it so the dust is also another shock state move. It keeps you electrocuted, right? Add some other stuff there too. I also think it's piss poor that the risk reward for his DP is very bad in this game. Like I said, why the fuck if I do this? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, why is the risk, they should give that more move. You could make this move less invincible, I think, but make it so when you get, like I said, Chips actually does this, but Kai's doesn't, which is bizarre to me, right? Chip actually gets a good counter hit. Kai doesn't get a good counter hit on this, right? It's kind of like, dude, Chip gets the big counter hit. Kai just gets a regular counter hit, dude. Like, come on, dude. I should be able to get something better than that. That should pop the guy up, and I should be getting a better combo than that, dude. Make it less invincible or something like that to distinguish it from this. but give it a better reward so you have like a better mid-screen option for a DP. You know, I don't know what the community's problem is with DPs throughout the years, but it's like, dude, every character needs strengths and weaknesses. This is a DP character. My DPs should not have such a bizarre risk reward. My hard slash DP should not be so fucking punishable on block. Maybe make it so shock state, it's the one move when you jump up, you can't FD it. If the guy is in shock state, let's do this. Boom. That should be boom. You should not be able to block that even with FD. Just make it something, dude. I don't know. It's just piss poor. Or at least you have to FD it. That's the one time you have to FD something. The risk reward for his DP is just really not well thought out compared to forward punches and everything like that. He's a DP character. Like, sorry, get over it. Every character has strengths and weaknesses, dude. I'm a DP character. My DP should be better. Fucking Christ, dude. I mean, I just feel like this character needs a lot of quality of life changes, as they say. He just seems really poorly, unwell thought out. Again, I would like to see the Shinakuma back in, but I can understand why Shinakuma is not in because, I don't know. I'll give them that one. Shinakuma, I think, would be awesome to have in the game. But just inexcusable though. Like, I feel like this, like, you can tell there's an idea there that it cancels closer, but then it just doesn't work with all the moves. And it's just magnifying the fucking problem. Right? The shock state, I've said before, you could have done more stuff with it. You could have said, like, teach the player part of the game through the character. Make it so shock state, whenever you FD, you never are in shock state. It just like if Kai's just blocking like this, he's going to be in shock state, whatever. And make it so it never goes away for the rest of the match until he's actually hit with an attack that actually then ends it, right? But the caveat, the weakness is now the guy can FD. And whenever the guy FDs, guess what? He doesn't take the shock state. He doesn't take the shock state. But you want to know what that also does? Then there becomes a hidden mind game. Kai's frame data is so fucking bad that you're like, wait a second, do I risk this shock state? Do I risk the shock state? Because I'm getting better punishes and I'm getting better combos now. Do I risk the shock state? Or do I actually use FD to push the guy away? And then, goddamn, can you believe it? Kai is actually fucking safe. Kai's actually fucking safe. I'm getting pushed further away. You know what I mean? Like, do you see what a easy way that could add a minuscule change could add another layer to the game? It would add a layer of teaching the player about FD automatically, and it would also add another layer of depth of just teaching the player about the layer. Wait, sorry, I lost myself here. It would add a depth of layer of teaching the player about FD, and it would add another depth of layer of mind game because Kai's frame data is generally so bad. Do I want to FD so then I won't get to punish him, but at least I won't be in this shock state that is lasting for the rest of the match? And if I get hit by a random slide, boom, he's always getting that. He's getting pressure, whatever, this kind of shit, right? Oh, then he's going to be, these dusts are more powerful. They do longer stun. He gets better combos off of it. You know, who knows? Maybe if it hits, it knocks the guy in the air. So then, boom, I can land and whatever the fuck my titties, dude, right? But then I probably won't get to punish him. But again, like I said, the fireball is really piss poor. Like I said, you could make that quite a bit better. His fireballs the thing is, remember, his fireballs, the shock state for these two they already last less than other moves too. Just, man. Again, I just can't get over how, and again, I think the shock state stuff is awesome because it's a potential progressive idea. There's a lot of potential there. And of course, yeah, I would have added, put back the super fireball how it was in past betas as well. I don't think that was a problem, but, God, I don't know. I'm just, what is there to really say? I mean, I feel like I'm talking about the same stuff all the time, dude. The game is not fucking rocket science, dude.